I broke the law in Madrid, and I'll do it again.
Another day, another discovery. And this is a series where I document growth of my business to $1 million a year, or should I say growing my personal brand to $1 million a year. This is my second cup of coffee today, and it's actually not that bad. Anyway, I've been thinking about a lot of things. I got into content creation years ago. Started making videos back in Lithuania when I was a 14-year-old or even 13-year-old. And I'm not quite sure how old, but within that range. And I was just making videos with like an old VHS camera, which I maybe still have here. Okay, I think it's in somewhere in the dark spaces of abysses, or I don't know, black hole. Oh, we need to look for it. So anyway, but I think this chase of I have to make it work, that this chase of I need to build this business not my way. Maybe I just didn't know the way. That's a problem. But I've been influenced by all these other coaches and entrepreneurs that I need to do this one way, do this another way. And all of these things led to the culmination of me probably building something that I'm just not exactly happy with or I'm proud of. I am the most happy and the most excited to do content when it just all comes together. When it's not necessarily for me, but when I can actually express my creativity. So that doesn't mean making videos every single day, especially short form. Like short form, it can work, but I think the problem is that we just put so much pressure on myself, and you might even feel the same, that this needs to work. It just has to work. Instead of where I remember I was making the video, I don't remember which video it was, but the audio just synced. So the content collection video, there was a content it's gonna be here on the screen probably. It just synced so perfectly with the way I speak, with the audio, the beats, the visuals. It just worked so perfectly. I was so happy. I was so excited. I was literally sitting there and I was like, oh my God, this is like hyping myself up. And I really missed that. So, and I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, Houston, like it shouldn't be always fun and games, but I disagree with that. And I think just this belief of like, oh, you listen to Alex Hormozi and you know, a lot of other people will tell you like your passion keeps you broke. And it's true. But building something else that you're not exactly proud of or you don't want to build is even worse. Now, there are ways of making your passion work. You just have to find a way. And I think I was looking in the wrong direction. So we're gonna probably change a lot of things. And for the last few videos, I keep saying this thing. I think I just finding more, I'm rediscovering myself. It was funny because I don't remember if it was my birthday or maybe it was, I think it was my birthday. And I was having lunch with my fiance and I told her that I wish, not that I wish, I want to rediscover what's been lost. And I'm just getting emotional by talking about it. It's so weird. Maybe because it's the truth. Now, the good thing is that I did learn a lot of skills in terms of how to build an audience, how to script videos, how to, capture more attention, how to get more attention, how to turn that attention into cash, systems to turn that attention into leads, how to make offers. I think all of that works extremely well, or it's really good skills to have. Now, copywriting is probably not my strongest suit. I don't know how to make really good landing pages. Even though I don't know how to make good landing pages, I still am able to make money of people checking out my pages. I stopped promoting High Ticket Editor like a while ago, and I still get sales. A couple of sales every couple of weeks. So that's an interesting thing. I don't even know how these people find my product. I probably should look it up. But I guess that's kind of the rant of my, like straight out of my chest, like coming out of my heart. I always create this stuff for the vibes. It will always like good vibes. I just want to, give people good vibes. through the screen. They see the screen and they're like, they feel something. And good vibes could mean anything, you know, inspiration, motivation. I'm not really big on motivation or inspiration, but showing people what's possible or just appreciating what they already have or something along the lines of that. I'm just so focused on all of these FOMO, scarcity, urgency, offer creation. Like, how can I engineer these things? There's a time and a place for that for sure, but a lot of it is just, I think, unnecessary pressure on yourself, on ourselves. And I miss just creating for the vibes. It's I think that's where I really feel myself. So the model doesn't really change, but what changes is the content that I create. We get views. We turn views into customers. And then we turn that into clients, essentially. So the views come from SFC, aka short form content, and long form content. And then customers come from one time, let's just say digital products. I feel like a lot of things that I try to do is maybe subconsciously try to get a shortcut of some sort, meaning that, you know, I go instantly for like the high ticket sales. One thing I don't want to do is I don't want to have service clients because it takes time away from creating content, and that's a problem. So, and the clients are in two forms or shape of forms, which is group coaching, group consulting, and one-on-one. Technically, one-on-one could be part of Done For You because I can find an editor and place it to the client. I can find a videographer and place it for the client. I have a network of people, right? So I can just literally find anything that people need or even do some of it myself to build a creative team. But generally, this is mostly about personal branding. If you want to get fancy, you could say high status personal brand. And the reason why I'm saying this, why I'm saying like high status personal brand, my personal brand, when I started building it out, it was just, when you go on my account, it's just a mood board. It's just like something you would see on Pinterest, and it's just, it was beautiful. And I helped other people do the same, you know, through me going out there and creating that content for them. Then I got into creating content for my client, which we scaled him up to, we added 1 million followers total across the board, across social platforms. And that opportunity probably maybe led me in a different direction. Then I invested like 7K, even 9K altogether into different coaches. And they showed me these other things and I got kind of distracted. But all I wanted to do is just create cool content. So creating cool content, how does that benefit other people? How can I benefit others? How can I help them do easier, faster, or better? So my instantly, like, number one idea is something I've already done to create customers is just selling LUTs. So I can sell a pack of LUTs. I mean, I've sold them for $50 or so, something along the lines of that. I probably would not sell them as much. I mean, let's just say 47 for now. The thing that I'm working on right now, 5-minute scripts, $50, let's just say. And these things, they solve a very specific problem and help you do it faster and better. I mean, LUTs, just make your videos look cool in one click. I always put a lot of emphasis on color to make videos more interesting, more different. Read about color theory. I don't know much about it, but when you have two opposing colors in the color spectrum on the same screen with a little bit of a different shades, it just looks pleasing to the eye. Aesthetic. I used to say that aesthetic sells, and I still believe that. So if you can make your video look more aesthetic, and if you look at my videos, some of my viral videos, they all look aesthetic-ish, I guess. So anyway, LUTs, 5-minute scripts, and I can still look at some of the stuff that I already have that I've created that help people make better content faster. I would need to analyze stuff. So the core idea is still personal branding. The question is, how do I stand out amongst everybody else that already does personal brand? Well, you could say cinematic content is number one, right? So cinematic content and making YouTube videos with this is probably the way forward. And then, I mean, I can use cinematic B-roll for shorts. Again, it's the vibes. It's like literally vibes. I need to just remind myself, it's all about the vibes. So there's this guy, I forgot his name, Daniel Dalen. I don't want to be wrong, but he came into the industry. First of all, he's doing interesting stuff, right? He's just like a white Caucasian guy building a company in China. But then he used the cinematic angle, which only kind of supercharged his growth. And he's also a chill guy as well. So that's why his stuff worked. Amongst all of these educational creators, like here's 3 tips how to do this, here's how to do that, I think we're just missing that creativity. Now, there are creators who are still using cinematic content, but again, they all look the same, at least to me. So how can you stand out? This is something to think about anyway. How can you create a vibe? How can you create a vibe? I think that's the question, really. How can you create a vibe with your content? That aside, you still need to know how to structure content, right? So that people actually pay attention, they consume it, and they watch it in full. So that applies for shorts and long form content. What are the next things? I'm like, right now my brain is not even computing stuff. I got all this info here. So we get the views, we get them to buy our stuff, and then maybe they become clients if they want to build a personal brand or scale it. So the theme of today is just vibes. How do we create a vibe? And I do feel, how do we create a feeling? One thing I've learned recently is actually that usually the way I film my videos is just wing it, right? I just wing it. But I knew about storyboards for a very long time, but I just never did them, never really cared. However, now I kind of understand why should anybody do them. So we're gonna start implementing storyboards. Usually just let my editors like go wild. I'm just, yeah, do your thing. It's fine because I trust them and I let them use their creativity. Sometimes they use their own storyboards. But recently, not just for me, but for my friends who have editors, they have been asking for a lot of revisions. And that happened to me as well. So I think storyboards is exactly what solves the problem. So just storyboarding the visuals of what it will look like before committing to making it. I'm not talking about how you film it, because you can have a studio and I can just film content here, but the editor needs to storyboard what it will look like on each frame. That's important. Also, could work if I just, go out and I have an idea and want to film this vlog or some stuff. I don't think I will be filming vlogs. Not that it matters. We're not talking about vlogs here. I think I will change back my Instagram to just the good vibes. The downside is that people will not know which video does which or does what. But I just feel like if people go on my IG and they see like a mood board, I do strongly believe that your Instagram should be your mood board or whatever you want to call it. Because as I've said at the start, when I didn't have a lot of followers, I don't know if I said it, but when I didn't have a lot of followers, my IG was just set up perfectly. It was just like beautiful to look at, and people want to connect with somebody who is able to create that. I don't know if it's the same today, but I've helped other guys meet their partners, their dates. They use Instagram as a dating app. I've done that. I used Instagram to network with other people. Even more than that, it's your vision board. So not just this, it's also your vision board. So the life, like I said, that you want to live. So maybe I'll just completely freaking change my thumbnails of my videos to like cool photos. When I look at it, I want to be inspired. When I look at it, I want to be like, okay, yeah, this is awesome. Now it doesn't feel like that, because if I look at it, it's just way too like, okay, I think it's too much. It should just be cool photos, and I think I'll do that. I don't know if I have 370 photos that I can post though. I'll figure something out. I think it's enough of me ranting about personal branding. We're gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna implement the stuff that I said. I'm gonna launch the digital product. I have lots, I just need to launch it, so I might as well just do it. By the end of August, I have to launch 5-minute script as well, so it kind of makes it perfect time. Since I haven't really promoted anything for the last week, we might as well just launch the LUTs, as I know some people want to get it as well. And then for a week, we're gonna promote that, and for next week, we're gonna do 5-minute scripts, see how that's going to perform. I'm not sure. I need to think of an upsell of some sort, because we do want to maximize the value. This is a thought for a different day anyway. All right, we're gonna wrap it up here. I'll see you next day.